Hello, today I will be talking about strain transformations. So, what is strain transformation exactly? Well, I could easily make a list and tell you that strain transformations happen whenever a force is applied to a body and that the force will tend to change the object's body in shape, and that size changes are known as dilation, which basically means volumetric change, and that they themselves are due to normal stress. Adding on, I could explain to you that when the shape changes, it is known as distortion, and that is due to the shear stress. Yet, in order to describe to you what deformation in the length of a line segment is and what the change between angle is, you must first understand what strain is. So, what is strain? Well, it's definitely not this. It's something more like this. To put it simple, strain is the normalized deformation within a rigid body's displacement. As my close friend Harry Styles would say, and I quote, there are two types of strain, one producing size changes by elongation or contraction, and the other producing shape changes by angular distortion. Thank you, Mr. Styles. But honestly, that's a lot. All you have to remember is that strain transformation is the change of an object's shape and size due to the increase of force applied on the object. So you're like, I kind of understand what strain transformations are, but what math skills do I need to know this stuff? Well, all you have to know is the holy trifecta of math. Some basic algebra, a little bit of trig, and a sprinkle of calculus, and you're ready to go. So you say, okay, well, I know what strain and strain transformation is and what math skills I need to solve these type of problems. I think I'm ready to see the equations. And I'm like, are you sure you want to proceed? You exclaim, show me the formulas, buckaroo. And then boom, you get scared. After 20 minutes of consolation, you notice that the equations are not that bad. And that's because they aren't. Let's now go over every single equation. First, we have the equation that displays the normal strain transformation in the x prime direction. This equation is simply adding the components of the displacement in the x direction, which can be seen in the image below, where the object is being deformed horizontally according to the x and y axis given. If you have never taken any advanced math classes, understanding equations like these can be hard and confusing. That's because a lot of these equations use funny symbols. Those funny symbols shown in the slide are Greek letters. And don't worry, you won't be the only one forgetting their names. Second, we have the equation that displays the normal strain transformation in the y prime direction. Much like the equation in the x direction, this equation adds up all the components in the vertical direction. This behavior can be seen in the image below. Finally, the last equation. This equation is adding the components of displacement due to the rotation of dx prime and dy prime. This can be seen in the image below, displaying the deformation by rotation. By this time, you're probably wondering how strain transformation actually looks like in real life. So, here it is. Interesting, right? Well, not really, but these images are quite important to understand the concept. In these images, we see how the objects are being deformed as a whole. And using the equation we went over, we can see what the true transformation is. Wait, you really thought that was it? You think I was just gonna show you some boring pictures? Of course not. I would never do that. Let me introduce you to squishy rubber rectangle. You see, by itself, it's just a regular rectangle. But just like other material, it can be deformed. You can squish it, elongate it, and maybe even turn it into a duck. To be honest, I'm not sure about the last one. Although this is a silly example of what strain transformation looks like in real life, I find it best for new students trying to understand the concept. And this is because we can use the equation we went over to find what the strain transformation of the object is. Okay, on a real note, here is an example that is more realistic. I present to you the I-beam. Using construction, the I-beam goes through a lot of stress. This stress can cause it to deform. As an engineer, we would be tasked to find how much force is required to corrupt the beam before it deforms. With strain transformation and other mathematical concepts, we would be able to find this point and create a safer build structure. Now, the I-beam can be used to make bridges, such as the one displayed. What is important about this illustration is how the force applied on the object can alter and deform the object as a whole. As seen in the image, the more force applied on the deck of the bridge, the more stress that is added to the object as a whole. This stress will cause deformation, which is also seen in the image. This is pretty interesting. Look at how the bridge deforms as more stress is created by the increase of force. Well, that's all folks. Thank you for watching and I hope you enjoyed the video.